Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel MedSearch by Asif. So this is the first session I am taking on my channel and I am sure you will enjoy this session and you will like and subscribe my channel. Okay, so first session of my channel is arterial blood gas A, B and G. So what is the ABG? You may see in the clinical area that doctor pricked the artery and took samples, while others supporting airway giving life-saving medicines in that emergency situation. So why doctor is taking that arterial blood, which is one of the difficult blood collection in that emergency situation? Let's see. The reason is here. So first we will see what are the component of arterial blood gas. So first component of arterial blood gas is a PaO2. What is a PaO2? Partial pressure of arterial oxygen. PaCO2, partial pressure of arterial carbon dioxide. pH. So what is a pH? pH is a power of hydrogen ion that we will see once when we are going to see about the normal range. And then SCO3 is bicarbonate. So these components are there. Along with that, there are electrolytes also there, like sodium, potassium, chloride. Do we need to study that? Yes, because your sodium is decreased, then what will be occur? The swelling will be occurs. That swelling may be in the brain. So see. So you can see here the importance of electrolyte is very high in our body. So if your sodium is going to decrease, then there could be increase in the swelling in the brain. If the potassium is increased, then there could be a chances of arrhythmias. So that is very important that we have to be study about electrolyte along with that, and that electrolyte is also a component of arterial blood gas. So first we will see about this chart. So what is the partial pressure of arterial oxygen? Normal value is 80 to 100. So when we are talking about this value, we will talk if increase what it means and if decrease what it means. So partial pressure of arterial in the oxygen is fixed. So that is ranging from 80 to 100. If it is decreasing, it means there could be a problem of oxygen delivery to the body. So if it is going to be decreased, it means there could be a chances of COPD, there could be a chances of asthma, there could be a chances of bronchitis, cancer of lung, anemia and any other component or causes of hypoxia. So we'll see if the PaO2 decreasing, it means there could be, these are the reasons. Along with that, other reasons are also there which may causes the hypoxia. If increase, it means what? Oxygen is going to be increased. What it means? It means there could be a excessive O2 administration. So doctor is started on the ventilator, doctor may be started on the BiPAP, doctor may be started on the ambu bag, and then high oxygen delivery is going on to the patient, and we taken the arterial blood gas. Then what will be occur? Automatically the arterial blood gas will show high oxygen saturation more than 100. So that will be a cause of increased PaO2. Then we will see PaCO2. So what is the PaCO2? PaCO2 is a partial pressure of arterial carbon dioxide. What is the normal range of it? 35 to 45. So if it increasing, what it means? If it increases, it means COPD, asthma, pneumonia. How? See, your lungs are there. You are normally taking the breath. You are normally exhaling also. So while taking the breath, the negative pressure create. But while exhaling, do our lung create any pressure? No. It's going out. Your carbon dioxide is going out automatically. But if your airway is narrowed, if your airway is congested, what will be occur? The air will not comes out properly. What it means? Your CO2 will not come out easily. And where it will be retained? It will be retained in the blood, and it will be seen in the arterial blood that your PaCO2 is increasing. So if it increasing, what it means? COPD or asthma. If decreasing, what it means? How that PaCO2 will decrease? It will be decreased like the patient with the anxiety, the patient with the hyperventilations. So I see in many cases in the clinical area that patient came with the breathing like. So what will be occur because of that? More amount of CO2 will be washed out, and then what will be occur? The CO2 will be come out of the body and will be decreased in the blood, and then the PaCO2 level will be decreased because of hyperventilation. Then we'll see about the pH. What is a pH? We all know about the pH from the childhood. But what is a pH? pH is a power of hydrogen ion. So what is a pH? pH is a power of hydrogen ion. So how this came? This came with the long equation with the different inventors. But at the end, the person who invent it, he given result as minus log power of hydrogen, that is 7.4. So I written some value over there. You can see 0.0001 milli equivalent. So what is the normal range of hydrogen ion in the blood? 0.0001 milli equivalent. And what is the normal range of sodium in the blood? It's range between 135 to 145. So if we are going to say 140 at one side, and one side, that is 140 is the milli equivalent, and other side is that hydrogen ion 0.0001 milli equivalent. What it means? It's very high difference in the quantity of hydrogen and quantity of sodium. So very less hydrogen is present inside the body. So if a small change in the hydrogen ion will be there, then what will be occur? The pH may be changed. So what is the normal range of blood pH? 7.35 to 7.45. If it decrease, what it means? So if the pH is decreasing less than 7.35, then we call as a acidosis. And if the pH is increasing more than 7.45, then we call as alkalosis. So that is the one thing, that pH is very important component. And next component is a SCO3. So now what is the normal value of SCO3? 21 to 28. So if it is decreasing, what it means? It means that metabolic acidosis are there, and if it increasing, what it means? Metabolic alkalosis are there. So we'll see that in different chart. So here we will continue about the interpretations of the ABG. So last time I said about one chart. This is that chart. So what is the component of this chart? The pH, SCO3, PCO2, their normal values and the relationship. Last time we seen about the normal values. What is the normal value of pH? 7.35 to 7.45. If it is less than 7.35, then we call as acidosis. And if it is more than 7.45, then we call as a alkalosis. Then SCO3. So last time I told about the normal values, that is a 22 to 28 milli equivalent per liter. So this SCO3 is also called as a metabolic component. So yeah, that has to be noted down, that SCO3 is always considered as metabolic component. And what is the relation of pH and SCO3? So what is the relation between pH and SCO3? That is the same relation. That is very important. So when we are going to talk about the pH and SCO3, so it always have same relation. What it means? If SCO3 is going to be decreased, pH is going to be decreased. So that is the meaning of same relation. Then next, what is that? PCO2. What is the normal range? Last time I told 35 to 45 mm of Hg. Okay, so now what is the relation between PCO2 and pH? Before that, always consider PCO2 is called as respiratory component. So always remember, SCO3 is a metabolic component, PCO2 is a respiratory component. So what is the relation between PCO2 and pH? Opposite relation. What it means? pH and PCO2, opposite relation. Means what? If PCO2 is going to be increased, pH will decrease. So here what I said, SCO3 is going to be decreased, then pH will be decreased. So same relation. But here PCO2 is going to be increased, then the pH will be decreased. Opposite relation. So always SCO3 and pH have same relation, and PCO2 and pH have opposite relation. Here you understood about the basic principles of ABGs. Now we will start about the interpretations. So what is the pH, what is the SCO3, PCO2 and their normal values and their relationship we understood. So we will go for the one example. So consider one pH of the blood is 7.32. SCO3 is 20 and PCO2 is 36. Now tell me pH is more or less. So what is the normal value? 7.35 to 7.45. So it is less than 7.35. So it is less. So pH is less over here. Okay. Now SCO3. What is the normal value of SCO3? 22 to 28. So where it is more or less? Less. So less SCO3. Then what is the normal value of PCO2? 35 to 45. So it is the range between 35 to 45? Yes. So it's the same, not increase, not decrease. It's in the normal range. PCO2 is in the normal range. So now we will see for the relationship. So what I said, pH and SCO3 should have same relation. So here in this example of ABG, it's showing the same relation. Yes. So your pH and SCO3 is showing the same relation. And the PCO2, he is stable. He didn't change his the position. So there is no any meaning of it. So he is completely separate. It's not involved in any change in the pH. Okay. So now how we interpret this? pH 7.32. So I said less than 7.35 called as acidosis. So yes. So pH is acidic. Acidosis. So what I said, SCO3. What is the SCO3? Is a metabolic component. So SCO3 is a metabolic component. And who is the primary factor over here? This, because the relation is showing by the SCO3. So SCO3 is a primary factor over there. So this is primary basic metabolic acidosis. So what is the answer over here? Metabolic acidosis. Understood? We'll take one more example. Okay, now consider the pH is 7.32, HCO3 24 and PCO2 48. I hope it is visible. I am going to be repeat now. pH 7.32, SCO3 24, PCO2 48. Now tell me, pH is less or more? Obviously, it is less than 7.35, so it is less. Now tell me, SCO3 is less or more? It's between the 22 to 28, so it's in the normal position. It's not changed its position. Now tell me about the PCO2. PCO2 is increased or decreased? Increased. What is the normal range of PCO2? 35 to 45, and it is here what it comes 48, so it's increased. Now tell me, your pH and SCO3 showing any relationship? No any relationship. Now tell me, your pH and PCO2 is showing any relation? Same relation it is showing. pH decreased, PCO2 increased. Whether it is the same relation? No, opposite relation, right? So opposite relation is going to be seen between the pH and PCO2. And what is the HCO3? He is in the same position. He is not involved now. So your PCO2 and pH is showing opposite relation. And what the relationship chart says, your pH and PCO2 should have opposite relation. And it's showing the opposite relation. What it means? Your pH is less means it is a acidosis. Correct? Your pH is less means acidosis. SCO3, we are not going to take the SCO3 because he is not in the equation. Then what is the PCO2? PCO2 is a respiratory component. So here it is clear, because of PCO2 increased, our pH is decreased. So this is primary respiratory acidosis. Why this is primary respiratory acidosis? Because metabolic component is not taking any part. Your PCO2 is increased, and because of that your pH is decreased. So basically your respiratory acidosis is there. Why respiratory? Because PCO2 is a primary component. I hope you understood. Some more examples. So consider now pH is 7.48. SCO3 is 29 and your PCO2 is 44. So now tell me, your pH is decreased or increased? 7.35 to 7.45. So it's 7.48. So it's increased. SCO3 is decreased or increased? 22 to 20 is a normal. 29. So it's increased. Your PCO2 is 44. So it's between the 35 to 45. Yeah, it's in the normal range. So it is not involved. Now tell me, if the pH and SCO3 showing which relation? Same or opposite? Same relationship. What chart says to us? Your SCO3 and pH should have same relation. It's showing the same relation? Yeah. So this is a primary component. Now SCO3 is called as what? Metabolic. Metabolic. And your pH is what? 7.48. If it is increased, what we call? Alkalosis. So what is the answer over here? The pH 7.48, SCO3 29, PCO2 44. Answer is metabolic alkalosis. Here something different and something interesting for. Okay, now tell me, pH is decreased or increased? 7.32. Obviously it is decreased. SCO3 decreased or increased? Decreased. PCO2 decreased or increased? Decreased. So now answer me. What it is? If you are smart, if you've seen in the clinical area, if you correlate that conditions, I'm going to give the hint, hyperventilation. Then you can answer this. Do you know answer of this interpretations of ABG? Okay. So here again we have to go for the chart. Now tell me, pH increased or decreased? Decreased. SCO3 increased or decreased? Decreased. PCO2 increased or decreased? Decreased. So it means one of the value of this ABG interpretation is change its place to compensate to make the pH normal. Though he is not able to did, so we can't call as partially compensated. Here the other component is change its original place. We'll see how. Now we know pH and SCO3 should have which relationship? Same relationship. It's showing the same relationship? Yeah, it's showing the same relationship. pH and PCO2 should have which relationship? Opposite. Whether it is showing the opposite relationship? No opposite relationship. It's showing the same relation, but it should be opposite. So what chart say? pH and SCO3 have same relationship, same is there. pH and PCO2 should have opposite relationship, but it's not showing the opposite, it's showing the same. Then we are not consider PCO2 as a primary component. He is a secondary component. So what is a PCO2 is a secondary component. Then who is a primary component? Who is showing the relation? Who is showing the relation over there? SCO3 is showing the relation. So this is a primary component. Okay, now tell me, SCO3 is called as what? Metabolic. PCO2 is called as what? Respiratory. And what is the pH? 7.32. Obviously less than 7.35 called as acidosis. Now who will answer this? What is the interpretation? Answer. I given the primary component, I given the secondary component. So here, if the compensation is show, always consider primary component as your answer. So what is the primary component? Metabolic. So what will be your answer? Metabolic acidosis. But whether it is compensated or not, yeah, the other part, the other member, that is the secondary member, change its place. So what we call compensated. So what it is? Compensated. Okay, so compensated metabolic acidosis. But after the compensation, pH came to the normal? Not it. So we call partially compensated metabolic acidosis. Now I will give you clinical example, then you will understood in more detail. Do you studied about metabolic acidosis? Do you seen any case of metabolic acidosis came in the emergency department? How they came? They came with the small breathing, hyperventilation. How they came? Shallow and deep breathe. Why they are doing this? They are doing because of this. How? Metabolic acidosis is there. We call that ketoacidosis is also called as a metabolic acidosis. So your SCO3 is less, your pH is less. So if your SCO3 is not there, who will going to be increase the pH? Now pH is less over here, pH has to be increased. Who is going to be increase the pH? Who is the secondary component? PCO2. And what is the relation between pH and PCO2? Opposite. Now pH is less, then that PCO2 try to increase the pH. See, my blood is acidic now. I want to make my blood basic, normal, neutral. So my target is that 7.3 to come to the 7.35. My SCO3 is not there. Who is the secondary component? PCO2. PCO2 and pH should have opposite relationship. If I want to increase my pH, I want to decrease my PCO2. If I able to decrease my PCO2, I can increase my pH. Sorry. If I able to decrease the PCO2, I can increase my pH. See, come to the original case. I am the diabetic patient and I am having diabetic ketoacidosis and I came to the emergency department. My ABG is showing metabolic acidosis. What is that? Metabolic acidosis means SCO3 is less, pH is less. What I did? I removed my PCO2. See, my pH is less, my SCO3 is less. I am having metabolic acidosis. I don't have SCO3 to increase my pH. My pH is less, my blood is acidic. I want to improve the pH. Who will improve? PCO2. How? If PCO2 is going to be decreased, my decreased pH will going to be increased. So I wash out my PCO2. So my blood PCO2 level will be decreased. And if my blood PCO2 level is going to be decreased, my pH will rise. So my respiratory component is compensated. So here my respiratory component is compensated to increase my pH to the normal. But after that all the exercise is not able to increase up to the 7.35. So we call as partially compensated metabolic acidosis. Hope you understood all. We'll see for the next example. Okay, so here we will see last two examples. So here the pH is less or more. pH is less, 7.32, less than 7.35. SCO3 less or more? SCO3 is more. PCO2 is less or more? 55. So it's 7.35 to 45 is normal. It's showing the more. So basically patient having the asthma, patient having the COPD, because of that he is not able to move out the carbon dioxide. So what will be occur? Carbon dioxide will be retained in the blood. So this is the condition of the pH of the example. Now PCO2 is increased, pH is decreased, SCO3 is increased. So pH and SCO3 showing which relation? Opposite. What chart says to us? pH and SCO3 should have same relation. No, it's showing the opposite relation. So this is not our primary component. Now we'll see pH and PCO2 is showing which relation? pH and PCO2 is showing opposite relation. Now tell me what chart say PCO2 and pH should show opposite relation. It's showing the opposite relation? Yeah, it's showing the opposite relation. So this is my primary component. So my PCO2 is my primary component. So what is the PCO2 says? Respiratory factor. So this is respiratory. This is primary respiratory. Okay. Now give me the interpretation, give me the answer. pH is less, acidosis is there. So primary respiratory acidosis. जो दूसरा बंदा था SCO3, he changed its position. He is not in the normal range, right? He changed the position, but he is not the primary component. He is a secondary component. So if other factor of that ABG rather than the primary component, it changed the position, it means he compensate. So compensated by. SCO3 is what? Metabolic. Okay, so primary respiratory acidosis. Primary respiratory acidosis. Compensated by. Who compensate? SCO3 is compensate. What he did? He tried to increase the SCO3. So if he is trying to increase the SCO3, what it means? He tried to increase the pH, because SCO3 and pH have the same relationship. So primary respiratory acidosis compensated by metabolic alkalosis. So I just want to give the explanation of it. So I came with the complaint of COPD. My CO2 is retained. My CO2 is retained, then automatically what will be occur? CO2 will be increased in the blood. My pH is going to be decreased because it have the opposite relationship. Here, the respiratory factor, who is the respiratory factor? PCO2 increased, and because of that what will be occur? My pH decreased. Now, who is the other factor over here? SCO3 is the other factor. What he is doing? SCO3 is increasing. Why SCO3 is increasing? See, my condition, my COPD condition is increase the PCO2 level in my blood. pH decrease. Acidic environment is there. It should not be. Our blood should not be acidic. Then what? SCO3 is try to increase my pH by increasing the SCO3 level. So primary respiratory acidosis. Primary respiratory acidosis compensated by metabolic alkalosis. Why metabolic alkalosis? My SCO3 tried to increase my pH. So SCO3 is increasing the pH. Metabolic alkalosis. We are saying primary respiratory acidosis compensated by metabolic alkalosis. Whether after doing all these things, after my SCO3 increased, though the pH came to the normal? No. Then we call as partially compensated. Okay, give me the answer overall. Partially compensated primary respiratory acidosis compensated by metabolic alkalosis. So this is the answer of this equation. Hope you all understood. My last example. pH 7.36, SCO3 18, PCO2 32. Who is going to be answer this? He will be the smart person about the audience. Okay, we'll see who is going to answer this. So what is the pH? 7.36. He is in the normal range. What is the SCO3? 18. Decrease. PCO2? 32. Decreased. Okay, now tell me, what is the answer of this equation? Okay, see. PSCO3 decreased, PCO2 decreased. pH 7.36. When this type of condition came, when other factors change their place, means he compensated fully. How? We'll see. So at that time we are going to bifurcate the pH from 7.4 to 7.35 and 7.45. So consider middle point as a 7.4. So this value is ranging from which area? 7.35 to 7.4 or 7.4 to 7.45? 7.4 to 7.35. This area. This area is which area? Acidic area. So here we are going to be say fully compensated. Fully compensated. What? pH is in which range? Acidic range or alkaline range? He is in the normal acidic range. So what we call normal acidic range. So we are going to be say like this. Now answer. pH is less. Yes, CO3 is less. PCO2 is also less. So what chart says? pH and SCO3 should have same relation. Whether it is the same relation? Yes. So it's showing the same relation. What is the pH and PCO2 relation? Normally opposite. But it's showing the opposite relation? No, it's showing the same relation. So it's not a primary factor. So is a primary factor? Yes, CO3 is a primary factor over here. So now, yes, CO3 is called as metabolic. So this is primary, metabolic. What is that? pH, acidic, normal acidic, acidosis. Okay, primary metabolic acidosis, fully compensated. Who compensate over here? PCO2. What he tried to do? PCO2 is decreasing. Try to increase the pH because my pH is in the near to less range. So my PCO2 try to increase my pH. So here primary metabolic acidosis fully compensated by respiratory what? Alkalosis. Why alkalosis? Because PCO2 is try to decrease to increase the pH. To increase the pH means what? To try to make it alkaline. So we say fully compensated respiratory alkalosis. So here, if we are going to see the clinically, I came with the complaint of metabolic acidosis. My pH is less because of SCO3, metabolic component. So pH is less, SCO3 is less. So because of SCO3, my pH is less. Now I came with the hyperventilation. And I did the hyperventilation, and because of that, what will be occur? My PCO2 will be decreased. And then what will be occur? My pH will be increased. And it increased to the normal range now. So it is a fully compensated. So here pH is decreased, SCO3 is decreased, primary metabolic acidosis, fully compensated by respiratory alkalosis. Hope you all enjoy. I am sharing quizzes on ABG interpretations in the description. Write your answers in the chat box. Hope you all are enjoy the session. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, share and like. And write the answers in the chat box. Thank you.